Even before the attack, Berlin's gay community felt more and more unsafe. That's the headline from the New York Times, and it captures the mood in the German capital after a deadly assault on revelers leaving the city's Pride celebration. On Saturday night, a rented van plowed into a crowd on a side street near Tiergarten Park, just outside the security perimeter that had been set up for the parade. The driver then attacked people with what appeared to be a machete. One woman was killed and 29 others were injured. Police shot and killed the main suspect, a 21-year-old named Abdul B, on Sunday evening after a day-long manhunt. Authorities have labeled the attack Islamist terrorism and say the suspect had attempted to join ISIS. The violence came despite a massive security operation. 2,200 police officers were deployed, up from 1,300 the previous year, and metal barricades lined the parade route. Still, the attacker managed to reach a side street outside the protected zone. Benjamin Bach, who had been at the site minutes before the attack, asked how the driver even got into the Tiergarten with anti-vehicle barriers everywhere and thousands of officers on duty. The attack is a sum of all fears moment for Berlin's LGBTQ community and for city officials who have been trying to stem a surge in anti-queer crime. Since 2016, anti-queer crimes in Berlin have more than tripled, and violent anti-queer crimes have risen by half. Both violent and non-violent offenses peaked in 2023 and have declined somewhat since the city launched a strategy to combat violence and discrimination in 2024, but they remain historically elevated. In 2025, far-right ideology was the most frequently cited specific motivation for homophobic attacks in Berlin. Now, with an Islamist-linked attacker, community leaders say they are increasingly worried about threats from a wider range of political and religious motivations. Florian Winkler-Schwartz, managing director of the LSVD Association for Queer Diversity Berlin-Brandenburg, put it bluntly, queer people in Berlin are feeling more and more unsafe. He said the police presence and safety measures at the celebration were enormous, yet the attack still happened. The sense of vulnerability is compounded by the fact that the violence occurred at an event meant to be a celebration of identity and solidarity. City officials have vowed to review security protocols and continue their broader strategy against hate crime. But for many in the community, the attack underscores a grim reality: increased policing and barriers cannot fully erase the threat when hatred comes from multiple directions. As Berlin mourns the victim and supports the injured, the question remains how a city that prides itself on openness can protect its most marginalized residents from violence that seems to be evolving and spreading. That's the story from Berlin. Thanks for listening.